Host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
And welcome to Bali, welcome to Thailand, and welcome to the podcast studio. And we're live again down here in Jamcast. And of course, as per normal, at the end of the table, the man himself, Mr. Bobby Paz. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Les is in the studio.
Hey, Les is in the studio. Les the Shane, welcome to the studio, Les.
Thanks, guys.
Are you looking rather cool? Flustered, aren't you?
Not anymore.
You're not flustered anymore?
Got my driver's license stuff dealt with.
All right, Les, if you can come up to the microphone, we'll just have a quick chat before we start doing a few tracks, what you're in here for Jamcast today. Just for the people that don't know you, can you sort of fill us in from where you are from?
I'm from Illinois, but I grew up in Texas, in the U.S., and Houston, Space City, USA. And I've been traveling around the world playing music. Started in the Caribbean.
Caribbean, that's a nice place to start, isn't it?
Wow.
Moved
Pretty exciting.
to Europe, to Paris, and traveled around, and then came to Asia. And just kind of repeat that pattern.
To repeat the pattern. I know that I think it was around 2009 that we sort of met. And you sort of just got here and was a virgin to the Pattaya scene. I mean, a lot's happened since then, yes?
Yes, a lot has happened.
But one of the things that's happened, of course, is basically, as a musician, you all sit down and do things about where you're living and where you go. 54 countries now you've been to?
53.
53 countries. See, the one, I always give you one extra, so I'm always generous to you. 53. Out of the 53 so far, which has been your most sort of interesting, let's say that?
Interesting. I think it was really cool to go to Russia, considering that it's difficult for Americans to go there, because they were have been our enemy for a long time, or whatever. So that was really exotic and cool to see St. Petersburg. But I wouldn't. There's a lot of places that have been very interesting, but that was one of them.
They all have their unique presence. Bringing you up to date and bringing you to Paddy and bringing you to Thailand, of course, one of the things as a musician, your mind's always working and you think to yourself, what can I do to sort of bring something into the community? And your way of doing that, of course, was writing a song. How did that come about? I
was actually stranded here in 2017. And, it's several times, 2 times, 2013, 2017, and I was overstay at one point for a very long period of time, not anymore, but during that period I was inspired to write about my adventures in Thailand.
Which gave us to the title, of course, Land of
Smiles, otherwise known as the Overstay song.
The Overstay song. So are you going to grace us with a little bit of Overstay? What do you reckon, Bobby? Fancy a bit of Overstay?
I'm ready.
Thanks for caring.
We care. When you're ready, after you. All yours.
All right, guys. Saudi Cup. There is a place where elephants race through the jungles, wild and free. Girls who rock your world. They fall like coconuts from the tree. I lost all track of time and how many drinks were mine. Should have left a long time ago, but I never crossed that line, 'cause I'm overstayed, I'm overstayed in the land of smiles. You see, I lost my wine, lost my mind. I lost my ticket back home, but I had a massage. Now I'm feeling fine. I lost all track of time and how many drinks were mine. Should have left a long time ago, but I never crossed that line. Now I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed in the land of smiles. Woo! Well, there was magic in Pai, Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai. Bangkok's the big city with shopping and so much to see. The islands were nice, full of life and of spice. But Pattaya will always be my sweet Siamese dream, 'cause that's where I lost all track of time and how many drinks were mine. Check Bangkok, should have left a long time ago, but I never crossed that line. 'Cause I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed. I'm overstayed in the land of smiles. One more time. So excuse me, officer, don't take me away. There's been a mistake. I just wanted to say, Chukti Cop in the land of smiles. Chukti Cop in the land of smiles. 'Cause I'm not overstayed. My visa's paid. I want to stay. I want to stay in the land of smiles. 'Cause I'm stuck in Siam for a while. Well, I'm stranded in Thailand again. But there are worse places that I could end.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
Oh yeah,
What do you think of that?
I like it a lot.
Hey, we like it a lot, Les. Thanks a lot. I mean, that brings
thanks
back
a lot, guys.
that brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? Eh?
That was fun.
And written and produced by you, of course.
Yes.
And I would imagine a few people have heard that by now.
Have you recorded that?
Yes.
Cool.
There's a version that's been... there's a video, and everything was made by Thai Visa News, and they
Right
put it
on.
on TV for a couple of years.
Awesome.
I think it's not. Has it been available on download though? As a
You can find it on the internet, but yeah, you played it. You were one of the first people to play
I was
it.
one of the first to play it, and we did it on the radio and did everything, and it's got a good response. And I mean, there was the guy, if you remember, Pattaya. He was.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Yeah, I've met him before, and of course, he's got the famous Pattaya song. But I mean, I would say that this is on par with that, wouldn't you, Bobby? I mean, it's a great song.
Yeah, it kind of. Well, I don't like making comparisons, but it had that kind of pop, Jimmy Buffett in the pocket
There you go.
hit song. Well, sounds
Thanks.
great, man.
I tried to get as much exposure for it as I can and could, so I appreciate you guys.
Well, you've got a lot of exposure today.
David has good ears, and I think I have good ears, and yeah.
Yeah, I think
man.
I think maybe
Thanks.
I think maybe Bobby might be able to do a little bit more with that. I think I can see his little cogs going in his head now.
David, you were DJ for many years.
Yeah,
man.
no. If you know,
got the ears,
I got to
man.
be fair, and if it's not because you're sitting here, Les, because you know me. I tell the truth, and I just say it the way it is. But if I was
My Pakwan, we're not Pakwan here. We're the truth.
We were truthful, mate.
Jing.
We don't bullshit in the studio. There's one thing with no bullshit comes through the doors. All right.
Cool.
When you're in the studio, you say what you mean, and you mean what you say. It's as simple as this. That's a great song.
Thanks.
It's a hit song, and
Thanks.
it needs getting out there more, because if a lot of people that come to Thailand listen to that song, they would like it.
That's what I think.
And it hits home with a lot of people that have overstayed.
Yeah, I think it's anybody who's been here, any expats who've been here or are still here, or have been here, even visited once. They will understand the song.
Yeah, of course they will. I mean, it's not. You don't have to be Einstein to understand that song, do you? It's very simple. It's a catchy song. I like it.
And you were overstay.
Yeah, it's a true
There you
story.
go.
Actually, it's actually putting something, an experience in life, into a song. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's normally that was the sort of Beatles format, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Going out the door, running down the street, combing my hair, and all these things. I mean, they're all stories, and I think that's about as real as you can get.
Absolutely.
You know, people sort of, I don't know, you know more than this, but over the years as a DJ, the hit songs have always been the songs that are just like normal. There's no process in it. It's a story, and sometimes 99.9% of the time, it's a real story.
I'll give you another little bit of trivia about the song since you like it. I wrote it on His Majesty King Bhumibhol's birthday.
Oh wow, nice.
And it was the first time that I wrote all of the lyrics first, and then had a page of lyrics, and I looked at it and I said, well, but what music goes with this? You know, that had never happened to me before. I normally write...
The lyrics came first on this one.
Yeah, I always write from right brain to left brain, and this one was left brain to right brain.
Cool. Which you know better than I do on that. You know where it's coming from?
I do.
Oh, okay, because he's you know.
And then and as you said, I wanted to point out is that after that, I looked at the lyrics and I thought about the experience, and I thought, you know, this needs to be a kind of a country, Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville style,
it has a
tropical vibe.
But it has your vibe.
You know,
it has that vibe, but it's your vibe.
Right. And then Toby Keith and Leonard Skinner a little bit.
There you go.
Too. Yeah.
There we go. That's a proper mixing pot of.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Well, we enjoyed it. It's great. It's a great track, Les. I still like
Thanks.
it. I think that it's not had enough exposure, but we'll try and do our best to get it more out there.
Well, I would appreciate that.
Well, it's you're exposed now. Believe me.
Thanks, guys. Wait a second. In what?
You're definitely
another camera here. I didn't know about.
Yes. For all the females, watching today, Les has got his pants on. So
We got 2 cameras on him.
we've got two cameras. Yeah. After coming to Thailand, I mean, and sort of like, I would imagine getting to know people there and jam with them and
Yes.
end up doing venues and that. I mean, how does that go? Do you still know people here? You still doing that?
Well, you mentioned Lou de Prick. He's the guy who wrote the Pataya song.
Yeah, Lou de Prick,
He's a buddy of mine. He's from Belgium, and we've hung out a couple times.
I mean, that's a massive track here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all over the world, of course.
Yeah, it started out. He was in the Caribbean like me, actually. I found out, and he had done his first song there, like I did. And then, in fact, you know, he came here and he did it again here, and I kind of did sort of with the song I just played for you guys. So we have that kind of in common, and we're just both weirdos.
You're both weirdos in your own rights. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all weird. We all have our own sets of weirdos.
You know what I mean?
Look at that.
Yeah, but I mean that's why we come together. You know what I mean? Because we find each other.
This is weirdo factory
See
boy.
that guy? He's
Birds
weird.
of the same feather flock together.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we have a guy named Dwayne Tonkin who's been a really good supporter and fan of our channel here, and he says, I'd love to know how you managed yourself to back into the land of smiles after your overstay. What happened? How did you get back?
Okay, good question. Back then, the immigration policy was that as long as you made it to the airport with 20,000 baht, you were okay. You could get on the plane.
Okay, money talks.
That's the short answer, is that several times, both times that I was stuck here for longer than a year, overstay, including the first time where I wrote the song, the answer was that I made my my woman at that time, who had left me here, give me 20,000 baht, and I went to the airport and paid it.
You had a good woman.
Yeah, but that's we got to add though, Bobby. That's in the days prior to what's happening now.
So what year was that?
Yeah, that's
Let's compare
that was
notes.
2013.
Okay.
The original one.
Yeah.
When I wrote the song.
Yeah, now it's completely
I didn't
different, of course.
record the song till 4 years later.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
And we all know
2017.
the rules change day by
Well,
day.
they changed now. I mean, you can still pay overstay. You still can do that, but of course, if it's so long, you get blacklisted for a year, then 5. So
Yeah, see, that's the thing,
Yeah.
is that back then you could just pay and you fly out and come back the next day and you're starting all over.
pay and go.
And,
Pay
yeah,
and
exactly,
go.
exactly.
But that don't exist no more.
I don't want to tweak on the phone other than to tell everybody that I'm on air or whatever.
You do what you want.
Go
It's
for it.
live.
I mean,
It's live. We don't
Let me
care.
just
This
say,
is your living room and
What do I
our
say?
living room.
I'm live on.
You can press your
or-
Facebook Live. You can tell them live. You can do
Live on
anything you want to do.
Pattaya One News, yeah.
No, it's Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Talking
Talking
Heads.
Talking Heads podcast. There we go.
Talking Heads podcast. There we
What do you reckon to that, Bobby? Did you like that? You was that's the first time I've got to say, and I'm not being anything here, right? That's the first time since we started podcast, and I mean it in a nice way, that you were actually gyrating a little bit there.
I was moving my body. It was moving me. And trust the body. When the body moves, you got to honor that.
Cool.
Yeah, but you was trying to hump the table.
I was dry humping this table, actually.
Wow.
What was that? It was that dancing. That was dancing.
I'm glad there's a Buddha in between us.
There's a Buddha in between us. There's a couple of some tracks coming up that we're not going to put them in any order. We've got some tracks down here, and we'll probably do some more anyway. But I mean, it's one of your favourites. I mean, it's very hard as a DJ, as a musician to say what's your favourite track,
right?
What's your favourite tune? We all have tunes that we like, and we can list many that we like. There's some that stand out, and I think they come into the greatness factor. One of them that stands out in my mind as a DJ, of course, is Jerry Rafferty, which is Baker Street. I mean, I love that track.
Yeah,
I loved it because I also remember the beginning, how it starts, on the single, and it's one of those things. Within the first few seconds, you know exactly what it is, and that's how I think that. Of tunes, if you got it in the first few seconds of a track, you're going to remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
and you always do.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over to you.
Okay,
we're going to leave
you
it to
ready
you
for that one?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Water.
Yeah,
sure.
Please, sir, can I have some water?
Yeah, you can have some of that, though. It's all right. My COVID's gone and you can have it now.
Because this song, this is not the easiest one, but
no. It's not. If it doesn't matter, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you bum out on a note or you break a string or
fired,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
See, the problem is who's got the saxophone in their back pocket.
Can you do the saxophone?
When I tell you,
There
you go like
I
this.
think you got it.
There you go. You can do that. You can do it on there. All right. Okay. When you're ready, Les Shane in the
thing is
studio.
that intro that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't do that part.
No, I know because it's pretty hard for you to, I would imagine, to do on there. But
No.
It's just
but it's a lot of keyboards and a lot
yes,
of
it is.
stuff like that.
But
on the
I
intro.
was just pointing out how tracks, like
no, for sure. I'm with you.
In my
I'm with
time,
you
there's always tracks that stand out. Within a few seconds, you know the track. Within a few seconds, you know the song, and within a few seconds, you've got it in your memory for life.
Yep.
So this is just one of those things. Even though you're not playing the beginning, I'm still going to remember it.
Exactly.
And I can do that.
I can whistle it for you. It's something like.
There you go. You can do that. Why not?
Something like that. Anyway.
Doesn't matter. Okay, here we go in the studio. Talking Lives podcast. It's great. It's what can we say? It's a Thursday afternoon. It's getting hot, and it's even hotter in the studio. But of course, we're going to take you down Baker Street. Jerry Rafferty on the guitar, Mr. Les Shane.
Winding my way down Baker Street, light in my hand, yeah, I'm dead on my feet. It's another crazy day. Gonna drink the night away and forget about everything. The city desert makes you feel so cold. It's got so many people, but it's got no soul. And it's taking you so long to find out you were wrong when you thought it held everything. Used to think that it was so easy. Used to say that it was so easy. But you're trying now. When you wake up, you'll be happy. Just one more year and then you'll be happy. But you're crying now. Down the street there's a light at his place. He opens the door, he's got that look on his face, and he asks you where you been. You tell him what you've seen, and then you talk about anything. He's got this dream about buying some land. He's gonna give up the booze and the one night stands, and then he'll settle down in a quiet little town and forget about everything. But you know he'll always keep moving. You know he's never gonna stop moving, 'cause he's rolling, he's the Rolling Stone. And when you wake up, it's a new morning. The sun is shining, it's a new morning. And you're going home.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host, Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
Oh, yeah.
How's
Yeah.
that?
We're feeling it. We're feeling it
What
today.
about that saxophone solo? Huh?
That saxophone was sounded like one of those whistle saxophones, no?
It could have been better. I'm sorry, guys. I was.
Don't apologise.
My whistler went out on me.
Don't apologise. If you
I enjoyed it.
if you get that guy at the end of the table gyrating, you know you've scored a 9 or a 10 on the Richter scale.
Cool.
No dry humping on that one.
Yeah, don't try and hump into that
Right,
one.
the whistler was no good.
Yeah. Going on your travels, I mean, I did see a couple of your posts that you keep posting. I sort of keep it in touch of where you've been and what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Try and remind me, because I don't know the story, and you're probably going to know it better than me. And that is there is a shot, a picture of you and a gentleman sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
The guy's got like a small little tash and everything, and he
The
was
guy's amazing.
Yeah, who was that guy?
Probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Sergeant Ronald Bryan.
That's him.
He was a flying tiger. And he's from that movie, The Black Sheep. He's actually the last one of them. The rest are all dead.
Right.
And this guy I was at the library in Texas, and this guy pulled up next to me just as I was leaving. He got out and went to sit on the park bench, and he had this uniform on, and I thought, wow, I got to find out who this guy is.
Yeah, sure.
And I walked up and started talking to him, and it just blew me away, because it was a real movie book.
Black Sheep is.
But like a living guy sitting there on the bench with me. The coolest part was that after he fought in World War II and shot down Japanese, and just his story is incredible. And President Roosevelt gave him a plaque, which he had there with him while I was talking to him, to back it all up. You know what I mean? Like, this is the real deal.
The real
real thing. I was like just blown away, and still am to this day, because at the end of finding out that I'm sitting to probably one of the most amazing people I will ever meet, I said, stay there. I got to go to the car, get my guitar, and play for you. And I ran back to the car, got the guitar, came back. I started playing for him, and the guy got up and started dancing. And
Wow.
it just
Blew you away.
every time I think about it, it's an emotional experience.
Absolutely.
Because it was just so unexpected.
Yeah.
And this, who is this? Why is he dancing for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I should be dancing for him.
Yeah, sure.
It was, but he went on to be a world-class tango ballroom dancer all over the world, dancing with his wife, and for
Chance meeting, yeah?
for royals and like government people, and because he was a decorated war hero on top of.
You know your headphones are slipping down your back.
all right.
It's that hairstyle. It's that hairstyle.
Yeah, right.
You should plait your headphones. You should plait your
anyway,
headphones.
it was pretty cool to meet this
What an
guy.
amazing story.
Yeah, and for this guy to have survived all he did and been all that he has, and I'm playing the guitar and the guy starts dancing for me. It blew me away.
Surreal moment.
Yeah, it was like,
Because
wow.
he's a in a lot of people's lives is a massive hero, isn't he?
Right.
I mean, he's just like one of those statues of time. You know, just one of those things. A chance meeting that you're probably. Will you meet him again? Did you get contact details or anything?
He didn't want to. He's old school. He didn't have Facebook.
Nothing. Zero.
He didn't have none of that stuff.
No.
I asked him, but
Yeah.
But in his kind of, I guess, in their way of thinking, I'm just a strange guy, and he didn't really want to give that much.
Yeah, sure.
Away.
But he enjoyed the moment.
Oh, he was super cool.
Cool, eh, Bobby? We like
That guy was he's been around the block, man. And to have that honor of him moving and dancing, man, that's an honor.
It was.
Yeah.
It still blows me away every time I think about it.
Great stories. I mean, can you think of another story that's sort of like on your travels that sort of stands out in your mind? That, you know, I mean, or surreal moments or a crazy moment. I mean, I'm sure there's many of them.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's many of
Too
them.
many.
I've met other people that are kind of cool as far as I'm concerned as an artist. But nothing really like that. But I've met a lot of. Actually, I was a stagehand for Upstage Productions in Houston, Texas. So I've set up the rodeo. So that's like got 100 stars right there.
Yeah, straight away.
Just for the rodeo alone.
All experience, though, yeah.
But I mean, I set up all the concerts that came through Houston.
Wow.
So I've literally been standing talking to Billy Gibbons, for example, setting up Frank Beard's drums.
Wow.
And that was surreal. I was on stage setting up Frank Beard's drums, and the next thing you know, this kind of short, skinny, weird-looking guy with glasses and this funny hat with all these knobs, he comes walking up, and he's looking at me, and I look at him, and I'm putting the drums, and I looked at him again, I thought, that's Billy Gibbons. You know? And he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, what's happening? Yeah, I'm putting the drums together. I said, this is the weirdest drum kit I've ever seen. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, there's a TV in between the floor toms. And Billy said, yeah, Frank likes to watch the game sometimes while we play. And I was blown away. You know?
Playing the drums and watching the game.
Yeah, so here we're setting up a concert. This stadium holds about 30,000 people.
And he's watching the game.
And he's so good that he can autopilot. And, my team, and watch the game at the same time.
Wow.
Amazing time.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
Well, there's one guy that I liked that was on the road and, of course, did a lot of things, and I liked his music, was Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah.
I like his stuff. We like Johnny Cash, don't we, mate?
I never got to work with him, unfortunately.
No. I mean,
That would have been cool.
I mean, I've done a few things. Like I've had a surreal moment. One of the surreal moments were when I met the Doors.
Oh, wow.
Over in England in Shepherd's Bush when we went to meet them.
Wow.
At the Empire, and it didn't sort of tick to me until after. You know, one of those things where you go and you watch somebody and you meet somebody.
That happened to me almost every time.
And you talk as normal like we're talking now, and you go back and you have a meal and you go home and then you go into the hotel and you're there and then suddenly you drain down, don't you? You sort of come down from
and
where
you realize you just
you
met somebody you'll never probably ever meet before, and you should have done something different.
Now that's actually that is you can't be any closer to the truth. We met them at the Shepherd's Bush, and they invited us over to America, yeah, and said they'd pay the tickets for us to go over, yeah.
There you go.
And he died. Ray Manzarek died, and I was so sad, but it wasn't till hours after that I realised who we'd actually met. You know what I mean, Bobby? Wow. It's like it was just I'm not it's just one of those things that sticks with me, like you've just said.
I every time I think about that time meeting Billy Gibbons, I think, why didn't you do something less? Why didn't you
I think they appreciate
shake the guy's hand and get his email or get something? You know what I mean?
I think they appreciate you more that you didn't do something.
Yeah, I think they
Maybe
do.
So.
Absolutely.
Maybe so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, do you become somebody that's just meeting them and how are you? How you doing? I'll help you. Or are you becoming a fan?
A suck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's a big difference, though, isn't there?
True.
Fans get on their nerves. Friends they like.
Right.
So if you can be like friends to them and try and be normal and say, "Not give me number, give me phone." If you're not doing all that, then
Can you imagine?
That?
They asked George Harrison if you had the chance to be a Beatle again, would you do it? He says, "No way, man.
No way.
No way."
Because of all the pressure and stress of the people and
just 24/7 hammered. Those guys were always desperate to have their own space. They never had that.
Was it on the bass? Queen John Deacon, was it?
What's that?
Yep. John Deacon.
John Deacon just walked away. He completely walked away and went into hiding. And they caught him. He was in Morocco or somewhere, and he was coming out of a restaurant, and all these people just swamped him with records and pieces of paper saying, "Get in your traffic." And he said on the camera, "This is why I left. This is why I left." And can you blame him? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not exactly saying like a certain level of fame. It starts to get crazy and dangerous.
I think that notoriety is good, yeah, but then after a certain level of being noticed and into fame, it becomes dangerous.
Yeah,
in my eyes, and I
think that's why I don't really do the things that maybe I necessarily should do to further my career to the maximum level. I'm not really a guy who's, so to speak, trying to get thousands or millions of followers on YouTube.
You want to be content in what you're doing.
Yeah, I do what I do because this is who I am and this is what I do. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like fabulous success and all that apparently goes with that.
Yeah.
However, what also worries me that apparently goes with that is the dark side of it, where you got crazy people chasing you around and trying to get in your life and digging through your trash and maybe even walking up and shooting you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's what happened to John Lennon.
Yep, absolutely.
And like Diamond Darrell. From Pantera. He was on stage, and a guy came out behind, blew him away while he was playing. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is...
Well, it gets.
You know what I mean? That's a reality. Let me put it to you this way. Even just on my small level of success, and when I say that, I mean... I have a couple of songs that I wrote that have been on the radio, and I've sold in some small capacity, and stuff like that. And I'm a troubadour who's kind of at the top level of the bottom league. You understand?
Good way of putting it.
Okay. Above me, the middle league, you're going to be playing more festivals and more of these bigger events, but not huge events like I used to work on. And then, of course, the superstars, they're playing the stadiums and all those kind of big events. But for the rest of us, we're like guys that are working the bars. We're working the hotels. We're working the gigs. Sometimes we play some festivals. Sometimes we get a bigger gig, a bigger stage. But it's never a ticket with our name on it. You get what I'm saying? So that when I have a ticket with my name on it, that's when I've reached the next league, is the way I look at it. Okay, but where I was going with this is that even for somebody who's in the little leagues of music and the troubadours like myself, just putting yourself on stage in a room is dangerous.
Absolutely.
You see?
You're putting yourself on show. You become a target.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that I think a lot of people don't really understand, is that you don't have to be famous to know what it would be like to be a little famous and have crazy people messing with you.
Believe me.
You know what I mean?
Believe me, being in a DJ box for 35 years, I know exactly where you're coming from. So. Watch that bottle, watch that fist. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, Some people, just for not playing their song. Can you play this song? I'm sorry, I played that earlier. Bang.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts.
So it's crowd control and dealing with people is a big part of what entertainers do.
Good. Well, I think you're very humble with it, and that's the key word. Be humble. Stay safe and stay and be who you are. One guy that was a little bit off the rails, of course, was Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
he was definitely there when he. We're gonna just let you.
He made some great tunes, though.
Made some great tunes. We're gonna let you. Johnny Cash, wasn't he? He played in the jail, didn't he?
Folsom Prison.
Folsom Prison.
He played there. Yeah,
played in many jails.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You go ahead when you want to go ahead with Johnny Cash.
All right.
And play what you want to play. If you want to play a couple. Me and Bobby are enjoying listening to you.
Cool.
Pleasure, Shane. Thanks a lot.
Well, I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. Well, I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when. Yeah, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps dragging on. And I hear the train a-rollin' on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I hear that whistle blowing I hang my head and cry. There's rich folks sitting in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. No, I can't be free. Those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. They freed me from this prison, and this railroad train was mine. But I'd move it down a little farther down the line. Yeah, far from Folsom Prison, where I want to stay. And I'll let that lonesome whistle drive my blues away.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Like that one, do you? It's got that doom,
oh, yeah.
doom, 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 doom. I love that.
Thanks, guys.
What was that? I mean, what was that? Can you remember the Willie Nelson one? What was that? The train coming. You remember, what was that one? Can you remember that one, Bobby?
God, Willie wrote some amazing tunes, man. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Train rolling down the track or whatever.
I think he did a cover of Goodman's song, which is Riding on the City of New Orleans.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
I met Willie a couple of times.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I lived on Maui for 17 years, and he's really good friends with a lot of good friends of mine. And there's this jam happening on Thursdays at my friend Davino's house. And I came to the jam, and Willie was there, and he walked up to me and says, "Hi, my name is Willie Nelson."
Cool.
Like I knew exactly who he was. That's what kind of heart that guy has.
Yeah.
So cool.
And we got to play, and he's a beautiful human being.
Good. Okay. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
was that
he's one of
those,
my heroes.
Was that one of those surreal moments?
It was very surreal and very real. It was very humbling and real, and it was, the Maui hang is really special.
Well, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, when I put my hand out and said, "Hi, I'm Dave," how does that sort of react to that?
I felt some feelings vibrate through my body when I met you.
That was me standing on your toe. What's the future for you, Les? I mean, where you going with things? I mean, are you still just going from
right now, I'm
anywhere?
hanging in there like everybody else during the crisis.
Yeah, there's no sort of like travel at the moment, really, is there?
I've extended my visa legally, everything, not overstayed.
90 days now, and was it 90 days now? 90 days again, and then 90 days, so it's 11 months altogether now. So
It'll be something like that.
Something like that.
I really can't go to Europe right now or to the States because they both have a lot of more cases than here.
Yep, and the quarantine over there.
Yeah, and so there's
it's
just I'm lucky to be here, really, and
and it's just the way it is at the moment.
It's a nice place to be trapped. Yeah, I mean, come on.
There are worse places that I could end.
Yeah.
Just like in my song.
You're from the States. I'm from the States. I'd rather be in Thailand than in the States right now.
Yeah. We're doing okay over it. I mean, so okay, it is with COVID. It is the way it is. But I mean, when that lifts and all goes away, which it will do.
I released my first album. I wanted to plug that.
You do what you want. You can plug
I released
anything.
my first album on iTunes and worldwide. It's called The Mystic Vagabond. It is basically a psychedelic rock symphony.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, it's in 5 movements. It's instrumental. There's only a poem in one of the songs. That's the only vocals.
Can you remember the poem?
No, that's not important. I'm not gonna. It's just I'm just saying that basically there's no vocals except a poem at the beginning of one of the songs. That's the point.
Okay.
And the rest of it is instrumental. Now I'm planning to release my second album, which will have all of the songs that I have recorded all over the world that I sang on, like the songs that maybe some people have heard, like Land of Smiles, like the Dutch side song in the Caribbean, like the song for Costa Rica, Mountains of Costa Rica, the songs that I recorded in London, the songs that I recorded in Paris, where I'm actually singing, and they're in the regular format of a song. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Whereas this album, I wanted to release it before that, because to me, the music is just as good, if not better. It's just that it's never going to be popular. It's like I said, it's a psychedelic heavy metal symphony in 5 movements, and it's one of those old school kind of flashback type albums where you're supposed to listen to it at least once from the beginning to the end in order to get the Mystic Vagabond experience.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's put together specifically in this song to that song to this, you know what I mean? The whole thing.
It's like Jack Black said. He said you have to do the Zeppathon. You remember that?
It's a concept album. It's a concept album.
And did you record that yourself?
Yes.
Wow. Here in Pattaya?
No. This is actually recorded at Rock Center in Houston, Texas.
Oh, wow.
This was one of my first bands. In fact, and what's cool is 2 of the tracks are live, which and the songs are highly technical. It's to me, it's probably some of the most amazing music I ever played and created. And I just wanted to go ahead and get it out there just so it's there. Yeah. And it could possibly used for soundtracks of movies or something like that.
Yeah, somebody might pick something up.
Video games, stuff like that. But it's also just an experience of itself. It's an EP. I released it. There you go. If you have a chance, check it out. It's on iTunes and all online stores.
Okay, and it's called?
Mystic Vagabond.
Okay, we'll have to check that out, Bobby. Yeah, we'll have a listen.
Absolutely, and you got me curious. Man.
Yeah, we'll have a listen. We'll put the link on as well if we can. Yeah, that's right, Bobby.
And then you asked about the future, and to switch back after this year, I will next year release my next album, which I will call American Gypsy, and it will
nice
be,
title.
And it will have the Land of Smiles,
Americana tunes, but you're going to put the Thai song on.
I'm putting all of the songs I've recorded everywhere in the world about different places, all on one album called American Gypsy.
Nice. Yeah. I like it.
And then after that, I will actually try to get some kind of new recording and record a single of my newest song that I wrote, and try to just release a single. And I'll have 2 albums out and 1 single. That's after that. I don't know if we'll see.
They always used to say if you write a song and somebody listens to it and enjoys it and whistles along and it makes them happy, you've achieved what you achieved. Everybody after that's just a bonus.
The grey whistle test.
The old grey whistle test.
Hey, people say
you remember that, yeah?
My life and stuff, and I just say, look, it's better than making pizzas in Texas and playing in my garage and dreaming of traveling the world and shagging exotic girls.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, don't you, Bobby?
I do too.
I don't know about the last one. I've never done that,
I
wouldn't know about things like that.
To do it. Not dream about it.
You're doing it, bro.
You do it. All right, listen, Lester Shane in the studio. I want you to leave us on a nice song, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Any of your choice that stand out that you would like to do now you're in the zone? Yeah. Now you're feeling it, because we're feeling it, aren't we, Bobby?
I'm feeling it.
You've been dancing to all 3 of his all the songs so far. You're doing that. 3 songs he's done.
Do you like the way I dance, David?
Well, the table's moving. Let's put it that way. And I'm getting pretty scared at it. Okay, it's up to you. What's the other one we had down here before? We had Roger.
Well, we're just going to do that Roger one because it falls right in with the American Gypsy style.
Then that's what we do. As they say, Lester Shane, the floor is yours. Take it away, sir. It's all yours.
Trailers for sale and rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 3 hours of a pushing broom about 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. World worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies that I have found. They're short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means the king of the road. Now I know every engineer on every train, and all the children and all the names.
every handout in every town, and every lock that ain't locked when there's no one around to sing. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let to 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 3 hours of a push and broom about an 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road, yeah. King of the road. King of the road, ba-da, ba-da. King of the road.
Love it. So love it. Of course, the man himself, Roger Miller. Return of Roger Miller, 1965 Grammy Award down there. So pretty cool song, yeah.
I remember that growing up.
Yeah, I do as well.
My parents were playing that tune while I was growing up. So 65, I was 7 years old.
I was that one I remember, and the other one, the old I was born under that one. Remember that one? Under a wandering star. Of Paint Your Wagon, was it?
I'm not sure of that
right?
song.
Is that right? Paint Your Wagon?
I'm not sure on that one.
No. See, that's where my
You lost
age.
us, Dave.
Don't worry about it. That's my normal routine. Have you enjoyed coming in today?
Oh, man, it's been great. Thanks, guys.
It's good. It's been good to have you in. Bobby, enjoyed it?
Totally enjoyed it.
Totally enjoyed it. Anytime you're around, Les, the door is open.
Cool.
Okay, we do Jamcasts on Thursdays. Thursdays. So if you're around and you want to join in or come down and be with us, or you invite friends or whatever like that, bring them in here. Anybody you want to bring in.
We want to schedule you in again.
Yeah, come in again.
And next time I'm going to sit in with you and play.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I'll have songs organized and ready, like some modern songs.
But if you've got any friends that you play with, I mean, bring them in. They're all welcome. Cool. There's no, like I said, the door is open. It's a podcast studio. It's open to everybody. There's no limit who we have in, and there's no lock on the door. Cool. So it's as simple as that. Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys.
It's okay.
See you soon.
Thank you, Les. Great to meet you, brother.
Thank you. Yeah.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host, Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.